Welcome back. MTG Joe here. Today it is Brawl Metagame Challenge Day. So we're going to try out this first ever Brawl Metagame Challenge. We've had Standard, Historic, Pioneer, Timeless. All the other formats have had Metagame Challenges. Brawl is unique because it'll be best of one. You still get single loss, same prize payout up to 30 packs won. It tends to be a bit faster, so I did 3 runs last night, 2 3-win runs with a Johnny, losing to this deck that we're going to be playing today. And I played this deck, and I went 5 wins, and I lost to a Johnny. The old turn 1 Ragavan, turn 2 cast a Johnny on the play with a way to flip a Johnny on turn 2. Generally beats you that way there, but it's been a mix. Some control decks, combo decks, a lot of a Johnny. But this deck here is basically a pseudo 2-card combo in Brawl. So how it works, Old Stickfingers is our commander. When you pay X into it, you reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal 2 cards, put them to your graveyard, power toughness equal to the number of creature cards in your graveyard. Basically in this deck, we only have 2 creatures, so we're always going to reveal Ardyn and Ulamog. Then we're playing a bunch of ways to reanimate. So we have Ardyn in here, so Ardyn comes to play, then it reanimates Ulamog, exiling that creature. Ulamog sees itself in exile, becomes a 15/15 lifelink, trample, haste, annihilate the entire board, and you just one-shot all your opponent's permanents. You beat them that way there. The one thing I wanted to try to change from yesterday was I wanted to add some planeswalkers in here to give me an alternate win condition. The deck, if they interact with you, you're pretty narrow. So we have Vraska that's just useful in terms of being some card advantage and dealing with troublesome permanents. Problem Bombardment, for example, of a Johnny deck. Ren and 7 can make us tokens, as well as fills our graveyard, helps us find lands. Nissa in here, just another threat. Ugin on the top end. Liliana Death's Majesty both makes us tokens, but also is a reanimate, which is pretty effective. We could play Necro, what is it? The 3-drop enchantment. Necromancy. This is another one you can play in place. I think I might actually play it instead of Mox Amber. Just given this one's a little easier for your opponent to interact with because it does stay on the board, so if they have enchantment removal could kind of disrupt it. But otherwise the deck, you're just trying to get to 4 mana, cast your Old Stickfingers, and then reanimate the following turn. Got a bunch of hand hate, cheap disruption, whole bunch of ramp kind of mixed into there. So we're going to give this one a shot. I also updated the mana base I got the original list from Untapped, but the mana base was like Shifting Woodland seems great in this deck, just become a copy of Ardyn, for example. So we're going to give this a go. We're going to see how it is. Again, this format is pretty high variance, so keep that in mind if you do want to play this. You can win games very easily. You can lose games, play draw. A lot of my games, I would say, the ones I lost, and not to just be like, oh, I would have won if yet, but had I been on the play versus the draw, just that extra turn likely would have won me the game. Like kind of a turn off in terms of lethal what we're doing. We'll give this a go, see how it plays. Less in this case here because, okay, so looking at this hand, we have 2 lands. This can fetch us either another land or it can fetch us a reanimation effect. I think we're just going to go for the land here with this first one. There's a lot of like just casual Brawl players that don't play ranked, so the rank doesn't make too much of a difference here. Because we have back-to-back reanimation threats, I think we're okay. I'm just going to start with getting Overgrown here. And then we typically are more base black, so next turn Solar Transformer, set up for turn 3 Stickfingers, potentially turn 4 lethal. And I say lethal, but basically you blow up their board. This is flexible, could find you lands early, late game could find you a reanimation effect, so it helps you bridge that gap. Normally you'd play something like Analyze the Pollen, but you don't actually want to find creatures. Solar Transformer, next turn I will fetch So this could give us the option of making colored mana. I think we still do it. They'd have to spend basically their turn. So now if they tap out next turn, they're dead. If not, we can just find a land. I can also go assemble the parts. Now the thing is, assemble the parts does exile Ardyn, so it's your one shot, where these other effects give you multiple chances. So again, something like Niv, which traditionally I would imagine be like modular removal spells. Okay. Untap land, and I think we still go for it. Did have a pause there. Which makes me wonder. Like I said, I can go for it this turn. They do have a pause. I think we go for it. Alright. Your commander always dies. Alright. So they didn't let us blow up their board, but that's kind of the core of what you're looking to do with the deck. It is a very cheeseball deck, but in this format, you're kind of rewarded for being super linear as you would be in Best of One. So trying to play a heavy interactive game while being effective against some matchups, you are still we're basically a removal check dot deck, right? Do you have a piece of interaction for our key turn? If not, we always find our 2 combos. And we kind of Slimefoot and Sweet. So this one here, Slimefoot's a pretty aggressive deck. I could assemble for some removal. I think we mulligan. We have Gemstone, which is pretty strong, so I can ditch that, fetch, and then set up Solar Transformer. I think I want to keep the Malakir Rebirth. Because realistically, I'm going to fetch here. I'm going to use it on the Utopia Sprawl. Malakir Rebirth can protect me from removal. Once upon a time here. This is like a Reanimator style deck. I think here I'm gonna fetch basic. Play around like Ghost Quarter or something. Still get strip mined regardless, but keeping the Overgrown Tomb keeps it so I can fetch with any of my fetch lines to get multiple colored sources there. So that was my turn 1. I have 4 mana. district here. Keep it on top. It's like Jun good stuff. I think like in dual commanders, that very resilient at what it does. I would say this is like 2015 Jun mid-range in the form of attack. So they'll squeeze this turn. They could also joy, but squeeze kind of their bigger payoff here. Fortunately, that doesn't allow us. Had I fetched the Overgrown Tomb, we would have won this turn. I could have reanimated. Kind of annoying. No! Are you kidding me? They have Bogart Trawler? Oh my god. That's so annoying. Yeah, that. How it goes! How it goes! Literally the one of, if we had the untapped line, we win there. I mean, you're not going to play around Bogart Trawler in a 100 card. I don't think it's a reasonable way to kind of approach it, but kudos to the opponent for having it. Again, we lost that game, but you can see what the deck is. And I think that's kind of the thing with this Brawl metagame challenge, right? Like, you're best of one. We are playing somewhat high rolly. Opponent goes first, Raga back. We need either some interaction early. Fortunately, we have to mulligan this because Ulamog is not, we can keep in our opener. Maybe should have kept that other hand. Oh, we go first. Oh, I should have kept that other. That opponent was. Oh my. Stop giving me. This. Put away Village Pulse. We'll do black here. Name Sticky Fingers. We just need them to not. So this will be 4. Why would you tap like, oh my god. It kept my Cavern mana instead of giving me thing. That's certainly annoying. So we should have found a land this turn. War boss. Alright, see what opponent does. Graveyard Shift's a cool one because it does it at instant speed. Okay, so they are effectively dead. Technically, they could have drawn Renanimate. Bye, friend. The cheese ball. So, normally, kind of feel bad, but it is rare event. The deck's got a lot of resilience to it. Just being able to consistently find your pieces, very strong in that manner. Opponent goes first, Renan's. I think we keep this. Bitter Triumph's pretty good. We have ways to kind of filter through our mana, which is nice. This can help you discover, but is also just like a Lotus Petal style effect. You do have to pay for it, but and throw around it. It could play Scavenger Ground. Time. Hope they don't have a strip mine draw. Probably hold this for a while. So no, fetch is pretty good. They don't really get a whole bunch of value here. I meant to... That one was my mistake. So if they don't blow up a land, I can Sticky Bones do the combo. They missed it. We have basics that play around Blood Moon effect. Weird keep from them. You usually want to find something with fetches, just because it works so well with them. So we have Graveyard Shift for this one here. But we'll be dead now. Let's not accidentally foretell this. Bye, friend. Another victim. So if they don't exile our graveyard on curve, we do pretty well. We basically net out a bit, 2,000 in, 1,500 back plus a pack 1,000 gold. But we have higher assets. What the hell is... Sacrifice 2 lands, draw 2 cards. I don't get that. I do want to draw some lines here, but land would be really good here for us. think I'm just going to prioritize getting a land here. They didn't want to fetch to give me another land. We were hoping for a land to kind of pop off this. One of the downsides of burgeoning, well, it can be very explosive if you're missing lands. No surveil, opting to go Jund here. You have 2 redundant pieces of reanimation, which is nice. And I can double ramp. Went with this approach just because it's harder for them to interact with lands. Ooh, them using the Bazooka Bog this early is definitely good for us. I can go for the combo line. I think we do at this point. They've used a bog. We have Assemble. Oh, but notably I don't have the black. Noting there. Hope they don't have the Graveyard Exile. So black mana, or any untapped land, we potentially win. Black land. Not, we just set up. So here, I think we just play around discard here. And then in the event that they have removal, like Graveyard Exile, I can exile. Actually, I should have probably just done Sammy's there. What exactly do you... Die. What happened? I like you dying is so, playing a little sloppy. But the damage is done. One. You're a horror. You're Elder Human Noble. You're an Eldrazi. This is a cast trigger, so it doesn't really matter about the counter anyway. So Cavernous Soul is likely better off naming human in case in the control matchups you have to eventually just hard cast. Something to note there as we kind of play through. But 3 wins. We're up back. Let's push some more. This deck very much presents if your opponent taps out, they die. Ajani is probably the hardest matchup. It puts a very fast clock with 1 mana exile based removal. Also has access to Blood Moon. Something to be mindful of when you're playing around. Flame battles. Alright, we got an Ajani. And looks good. The Utopia Sprawl. Arcane Signet, Farseek. Turn 2, turn 3 Sticky Fingers, turn 4 Unbreakable Bond. Can you band together, brother? Some of these are instant. They're all like 5 mana, bring back a creature. What in the hell is this? I'm just getting lazy with pets now. We got a Bargler. Right, opponent is mulliganing. Likely looking for some cheap interaction. Guide us soul. Oh, you know what? I should have gotten the Surveil land. Fetch for Surveil next turn. I did have the exile there. One, two, three, four, 5, 6, 7. So we still have the cast for next turn. No! Oh my god, that's terrible. Drawing the Ulamog there is so bad. Like the only way we potentially lose this game. We might still bring back. Oh my god. The only way we like. The not surveilling there ended up costing me the game. Opponent's in the tank. I'm gonna do this because I can bring back Ardyn. Bring it back with Ardyn.
I will prove my worth to my pride.
So frustrating. We do have a mana up, so that could be removal. What you got? Mana Tithe? Nah, they had it all. They had it all. The Hand Hate, the Mana Tithe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Extremely quick here. We would have got punked anyways, but we got kind of the nature of best of one. We've got our opponents a couple times. Do one more with this. We're still pretty much like netting out gold, so it's just a good way to farm pack. bit discouraging, obviously, getting hit there. Chromox, Niv Mizzet, Perun. I think we keep. I need to draw a line in the next 2 turns. Would have liked to do it the other way, but you can't pitch here. Alright. Increases our likelihood of a land. We also do it at instant speed, which is cool. We're on double red, which does not counter a spell. It'll stick trickery is banned. Black here. Definitely taking Prismari command, because it blows up one of my lands. Very interesting that they didn't even bluff there. Alright.
All sorts of treasures lie beneath the sand.
Opponent's board goes bye-bye. I got Lily going. Probably should just keep Sticky Fingers in the yard at this point. It's just another target for Ardyn. But usually pretty tough for them to catch up there. Low start from our Izzet control deck. That could potentially be a tough matchup, just having access to a bunch of deep counters, bounce, burn. I think we might want to add something like a damnation deck. This hand, opponent goes first. Need to find some lands. I think it's too slow, so I'm gonna mulligan this hand, I think. I think if we were on the play, I would keep it. And that. Put back Sammy's here. Mana's a bit awkward. I have Grief here. Comes the Core is a good one, lets me find a land. mean, they're kind of priced into taking the reanimate. Up. Here, Cruel Claw next turn. Also take a turn to set up. Valky literally has no text. Can offer the trade here. Their turn. Free here. Buys us another turn. I can even just Nisa, start pressuring them. Just stay. Smart thing to do is just in case. Just in case. For whatever reason, they're playing Surgical. Play it. Alrighty. Record. Zuku and card. I think we keep. They could have like a bunch of interactions. I think just ramping seems good. Here I'm just gonna get, and I'll probably just get a basic here. We have the other block stores. You search for forest. You can get a surveil land. Do the value play here. Don't think we want Blooming Marsh. Stickers is here. Hash nuts. Ball friend. You're dead. It was fun knowing ya. This deck is so dumb. So dumb. Alright. We got 1-1-3-1, so that's 5-2. We're 8-2 so far. Which is pretty solid. You'll love to see it. Alright, mirror, we go first. Hey, Utopia Sprawl, it's a good one. No! And we drew Ardyn too. What a bad run. Jeez. They get the double quick start, and I draw my Ardyn. Hope they don't have it this turn. Bobble to find the land. Alright, reanimate off the top. Reanimate off the top. No. This one would have gained haste at least, but da 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 da. I mean, they have to have it. Let's see what happens. They need the reanimation. We just needed that. You got me, friend. You got me. Still 8-3. Positive on that. I do think we want maybe some more like looting style effects. Something like faithless looting would be very good. but you don't get that type of effect in this deck. Like if we look, there's currency converter, which isn't great. I don't want to use the like discard a card to like get these removal effects. I don't think they're that good. We are using Collector's Vault. You just didn't draw. Like we could Thoughtseize ourselves. I mean, one with nothing technically worked. This one, because you have to pay life, like pay mana, I don't love it. Like that's, you can't play things like Pack Rat. That's target opponent. You can do more Pilfer style effect. Plunder is probably something we should play. Probably over something like Cultivate. There is like Go Blank effect. Lily is away. This is target opponent. You could do the Necro lines, but it does open you up. Mind Rot, great. Could do something like this, but it's again not great. There's Rankle's Prank, which could be okay, but like I wanted cheaper thing. Can't do that. Can't really do any of these. Discard a card, create a black-green pest. Not really that good. And then if we look at like the colorless slot, beg a holding, exile that card from your graveyard. So there's this. So that could be something to just help us loot. Smuggler Copter's too hard to get going. Because the problem is with these, oh, you may exile that card. But I don't really want to. Might just be kind of slow though. Good day, night. Good key to the archive. And there's this. Probably a little bit better. This one does draw and discard, so it's better. I would say let's try that. Google's fine. Sammy's Curiosity is pretty useless, I think. Because it's not really mana. And I do think I want Damnation in the deck. On a ramp. Probably over something like Power Word Kill. Just having access to Sweeper I think is important. that. Alrighty, that's Old Sticky Fingers. Good luck those playing the event. I still think we are pretty happy with our run. We're coming out ahead on packs. Trying to recoup some wild cards, but let me know what you've been playing, what you've been liking, and what you think of this format. Thanks for watching. Have a great one.